Behind Thomas's small hut lay the poorest land in the village, dry, cracked, and barren. No crops grew there, no grass swayed. Nothing of value appeared. At least, that's what everyone believed. Each morning before sunrise, Thomas milked the few goats they had, preparing for another long day. He fed his children small portions of food, often going hungry himself. Then, carrying his worn hoe, he walked toward the barren land, determined. He prepared his tools, knowing the day ahead would be hard and tiring. With every strike of the hoe, the soil resisted him. Dust and rocks flew into the air. Sweat ran down his brow, but he continued to work, never losing focus. He cleared stones, loosened the stubborn earth, step by step, strike by strike. Sometimes he paused, doubting if this effort was worth it, but he never gave up. Villagers laughed at him. "Why waste your strength on dead land?" they said. They whispered among themselves, skeptical of his determination. Thomas glanced at them, then returned to the soil, undeterred. Some villagers shook their heads and walked away, but Thomas kept working. Days turned into weeks. Sun scorched his back. Sweat soaked his clothes, yet he dug on. He swung his pickaxe with precision, breaking through the stubborn rocks. Sometimes he poured water into cracks, hoping the soil would soften enough to reveal life. He studied tiny shifts in the earth, small cracks forming deeper soil, signs that something might grow. Even as the sun began to set, Thomas kept working, exhausted but determined. At dusk, he knelt, resting for a moment, reflecting on the day's labor. Then, one afternoon, he struck the soil harder than ever and heard a metallic clang. He crouched down, brushing away the dirt, and saw a thin line of gold peek through the rock. His eyes widened in disbelief, heart racing as he realized the gold was real. He carefully cleared more soil, revealing the golden vein, sunlight glinting on it. For a moment, he sat back, overwhelmed with shock, joy, and disbelief all at once. In the following days, Thomas worked even harder, striking the ground with all his strength. Rain poured down, soaking his clothes, but he didn't stop. He paused occasionally, studying each vein of gold, making sure every strike counted. Leaning on his hoe, catching his breath, he reflected on how far he had come. Day after day, he dug again, sweat, dirt, and determination mixing into every motion. The villagers who once laughed now watched silently, amazed at his perseverance. One villager approached him, asking how he had discovered the gold. Thomas smiled faintly, wiping dirt from his hands. "I didn't know. I just kept digging." The group of villagers stood around him, observing the golden veins in the soil with awe. Soon, Thomas was able to feed his family, pay off debts, and build a better home. He taught other farmers in the village, sharing knowledge and tools, helping them grow. He looked proudly at the gold veins, knowing his hard work had changed his life forever. Years later, Thomas still walked the land each morning, remembering who he was before the gold. He reflected on the barren soil and the golden veins, contemplating the journey that brought him here. Because action, not waiting or wishing, is what turns possibility into reality. And that is the power of action. Thomas's journey shows us that consistent effort and determination can transform even the most barren land into a place of opportunity and abundance. It is not luck, not waiting, but the power of action. Small steps taken every day that creates extraordinary results. No matter how hard life seems, keep moving forward. Every effort you make brings you closer to your dreams. Remember, action today, not tomorrow, is what turns possibility into reality. If you enjoyed this story and want more inspiring tales, make sure to subscribe to the Wisdom Tales, and let's discover the power of action together.